Today's video, I want to do something different, and I want to talk about what it's like to put a 52-year-old car into daily use in today's traffic and on today's roads and that sort of thing, and whether it's a realistic proposition. Well, I bought this 1972 Volvo 144s probably a couple of months ago now. A very nice original car. It is one family owned. It's done 160 odd thousand Ks. It's been very well maintained. The previous owner has gone through a lot of stuff, a lot of seals, things like that. Since I've bought it, I've done a lot of things as well. Obviously changed all the fuel lines, just got it running really nicely, serviced, changed all the fluids. The car drove really nicely from the outset, and it's a really nice original example in good condition. So the prospect of taking a car like that and buying it and putting it into daily use, why would you want to do it? Well, I wanted to do it because I like simplicity. I like the ability to fix the car if I need to, if I break down. And my skill set is very limited, so I'm limited to the more basic things like that. As soon as there's a computer involved and stuff, I'm stumped. There's nothing I can do. I need to phone somebody, have it towed. The beauty with an old car like this is if you look at the owner's manual, they actually go through it and they say if you've broken down next to the road, first thing to do is pull out a spark plug, check if there's spark, and check the points, and that sort of thing. So they talk you through a variety of things that can get you going again. So that's the first thing to consider, the simplicity of it, and with a couple of tools and a bit of mechanical knowledge, you can actually get yourself going. You're unlikely to break down. The flip side is, of course, consumption. You're not going to get the consumption out of a modern car. I haven't really monitored this, but I would guess I'm getting around 12, 13 liters, 100 Ks driving normally. And driving normally is getting onto, when I leave the office here, I've got a bit of a commute on a freeway type road back home. And I get it up to 120 on there, and keep up with traffic, and I drive it like I would a modern car. And with that in mind, 12, 13 to me is acceptable. This particular car, very nice. It's a dual carb model. I've battled a bit getting the carb synced, but it's all basic stuff, just trial and error and listening to the sound of the engine and what's coming out the exhaust, and you can sort of get around whatever there. And so I've sorted that out. So it might well get better. I'll check with the next tank full. But certainly it's a really nice car. It's very torquey. It's very easy running, very comfortable. Everything works in it. And you may ask, or maybe wondering, why owning a business like the old Merca, where I do Mercedes spares and have for years, why I'm driving an old Volvo. Well, a very good reason. Every time I buy an old Mercedes, I fix it up and I say I'm going to keep this car forever, and then somebody comes along and offers me a price I can't refuse for it, and I'm selling it. I don't know anybody in the Volvo community. Nobody's going to come to me and offer me anything for this car, and it's brown. It's not my favorite color at all, but it is how it came, and I really love it. And I'm not driving my other cars. My other cars are sitting at home or sitting here at the workshop, and I drive this every day, and I drive it wherever I'm going. I drive it whether I'm going into town, into heavy traffic, I'm driving it. If it's raining, I'm driving it. If it's cold, I'm driving it. If I need to go somewhere at night, I drive it all the time. On the weekends, I drive it too. So I'll go through the interior and just show you what I've done. I'll also go through a video of the engine bay, and in part 2 of this video, I'll take it for a drive, and you can see how it performs and what it's like to drive a 52-year-old car. So bearing in mind the car is in daily use, obviously it hasn't been cleaned or anything for this video. It's literally as I use it. When I bought it, it didn't have the sheepskins on. The sheepskins were on my 300D Mercedes, but the vinyl had a little bit of a tear there, and you can see it's very well used over the years. And I just like the sheepskins, particularly in winter, and I'll probably keep them on in summer as well. It just keeps the car nice and cool. They're not great condition, there's a tear there, but I'm certainly not spending another $5,500 to get new ones. But to have a quick look around the car, nice to have door pockets on the doors. All the windows are obviously manual. It's got these little quarter lights, and inside, very nice condition. The original supersonic radio still works. A bit crackly, but it works. There's no cracks on the dash. This piece here I'm going to get repaired. I mean, we do remanufacture dashboards, so it's no big deal to me to get that sorted out. This little clip is broken, but other than that, everything works in the car. There's, well, the inside's very nice. The clock doesn't work actually. It's got hazards, which is great. As you can see, they've done 163,000 Ks. Very interesting speeder. This is just a pointer, so you can move this around and just leave it at 120. And then as you drive, you'll see in part 2 of this video, when I take it for a drive, a little red band comes out and it shows you whatever speed you're doing. Fan, 2-speed fan here. The heater, lighter, an ashtray. The owner's manual and glove boxes there. The fuse box is behind here. A choke, lights, wipers, and a 4-speed. This changed in 72. The earlier ones had a knob that came out here, and this has got a remote linkage. Very, very slick, very easy to change gears, very nice and smooth. The clutch is light. It doesn't have power steering, but it is very, very easy and very light to maneuver the car. A lot of space in the back as well. I'll open up here. Let's have a look. I think it's DeLuxe. Take note of the Mercedes mats at the back there for now. A lot of space. One thing I have done is put in some nut bolts out of a 123 in the back here, just to make that a little bit more usable. It came with these blinds, which I love. Suits the car, and it's really comfy at the back. A lot of space. You'll see when we take it for a drive as well. It's a 4-speed, so it does get a bit noisy after 110 k's an hour. But I think the top speed, well, I know the top speed based on the test that I read. The top speed's about 155 or something like that. And, so it can do that. And I find that going at 100 and I accelerate, there's no issue at all. There's always power. Even 120, you can accelerate and overtake. And it gives you an idea of the interior. It's a really nice car, not a lot of wind noise when you go along, and more than enough space. There's vents down here, funnily enough. So there's obviously vents on the top, and there's vents, I'll show you here. So there isn't vents on the dash, to say, but you can open these vents here on the side over there by simply pushing that in. Where's it? Here we go. And that opens the vent and closes it. And then obviously the quarter lights make a huge difference as well with the airflow. So it gives you an idea of the interior. And look at this. I mean, look how these doors close. Okay, I slammed that one. I didn't need to. Let's have a look. So just from here, and it closes and latches. So I'll open up the bonnet and I'll go through that quickly as well. So here we go. I've opened up the bonnet, and you can see it's as simple as it gets. They even do provide a light here, and it goes along with the owner's manual telling you what to do if you break down. Well, you've also got a light, so you don't need to dig up a torch. That works. And you can see here I've got an expansion bottle for the coolant. It's got 2 Stromberg 175 CDs that seem to run very well. I had a bit of a problem just balancing them, and smoothed it out a lot since I've got that right. I've obviously changed all the fuel lines. It's a 52-year-old car. It's something that needs to be done. It runs the original original fuel pump down there. The other big thing I've done, and there's another video about it, is I've converted it to electronic ignition. I do have the points there. It's a very slick system. I'll put a link at the end of this video, and you can see that. But yeah, it runs beautifully. It doesn't use any water. I haven't topped up oil. Brakes work exceptionally well. It's got a new booster in, and it's got a very interesting system, these cars, where they have 2 brake lines going to, so that each front caliper has got 2 different pistons, and there's a different brake line, rubber brake line going to each of the 2 pistons. So if one fails, you've still got half the caliper that brakes. So a very unique system. I haven't seen it again in a car, and the brakes are very good. Brakes are very, very sharp. As I say, no power steering, but you can see just the general condition of it. It's really a nice nick, this car, and simple. Everything you can do. It's there's no timing chain, there's no timing belt. It's all gears. It's a push rod engine, so the cam sits on the side, and I've adjusted the valves, so that's something you need to do routinely as well. But yeah, it's simple. I'll show you what the boot looks like. As I say, I use it daily, so the boot is not clean. I obviously carry a toolbox with me, but I do that in any car. Jumper cables, a tow rope, the jack is there. A very, very nice size boot. Very nice size. The only thing is obviously quite a high sill here. But you can certainly put a lot of stuff in here. And also a little light. And quite a lot of weight on it, so don't get your fingers trapped inside there. But yeah, a really nice old solid car. All the mud flaps are there. They've got 15-inch tires, these, unlike the Mercs, interestingly enough. I mean, the Mercs right into the mid-80s had 14-inch as standard. Well, certainly the 123s, 115s, even the 116s and 126s had 14-inch. This, back in 72, had a 15-inch rim. So the ride is really nice on a gravel road, very compliant over bumps and stuff like that. Not bad road holding, as good as you'd want it to be. Yeah, so anyway, that's the boot. Before I wrap up this part of the video, part one of it, part two, I'll obviously take it for a drive and give you an idea of what it performs like and what it's like driving and how people interact with it and stuff like that, which is great fun, by the way. Wherever you stop, people engage you, and you know, there's always a smile on people's faces. You drive a modern car, everybody looks straight ahead and, you know, won't give you a gap. And with something like this, it's completely different, just how people interact with you. I wanted to show you how it fires up. So I'm standing outside the car, obviously. Just lean in, turn the key, and there it lives, just like that. Hot or cold, starts like that. So look out for part two to come up probably 2 days' time, and we'll take it for a drive then.